Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 25 of 108 Days of Initiation with me, Sarah Marie, launching Phoenix Rising. And these 108 days is how I build, it's a part of my building expanding my capacity and increasing my ability to hold pressure in my body. So this is a living experiment as I showcase how I do this. And the main key when you need to hold more pressure and build your capacity is going through the connection to the body. So that is the primary connection between this project and Phoenix Rising and myself. So everything I teach is from living experience. And I'm showcasing how I do it and how I build my own capacity. Because if we look at the different, if I look at my goals and my 11 list and the three things that I want to manifest, it all has to do with me wanting to build more capacity, holding more capacity, being able to alchemize more pressure, because that is how we are able to expand outside of our comfort zone. So you could boil it down to that what I do in Phoenix Rising is to help women hold more capacity in their bodies and to alchemize more pressure so that they can fulfill whatever it is that they want to fulfill, because we know that if we want to achieve something that we don't have, we have to become someone we are yet to become, or remember, like letting go of so much that we remember, oh, I know how to do this. So there's two different aspects of to the same experience. But doesn't matter what we want to do, because most of our lives, so the women that I work with are high capacity women. They have a lot on their table. They're still managing so much and they are successful within what they manage. I just had to flip my phone around because it was sending me notifications. So I have to, so the women that I work with, you already have a lot of capacity, but it's like you reached the maximum of what the body can tolerate. So the body is sending signals saying that it just doesn't work. The body is not responding in a way where we can achieve more or hold more or expand more or change something, because change costs energy. So what it all comes down to is our ability to hold the capacity and the pressure inside of our bodies. And the feminine body is made for pressure. The masculine as well. The human body is made for pressure. We are literally designed to increase our capacity as we grow. And the human body never stops to expand. It never stops to process, and nothing and that's the whole core of this planet, is that we keep on expanding, keep on evolving, keep on growing, keep on learning, because that gives us fulfillment and satisfaction. So when we start to incorporate this in the body, that's also directly connected to our sense of completion, our ability to create. So it's all connected in and around our capacity, because it's when we don't have the knowledge, or when we don't know how for the body to increase the capacity, to expand, then we at some point the cup starts to become full, and then it's like the being, so one part of the being knows that we are supposed to expand, but then there's another part of the being saying, but I'm full. There's no more space for anything. Like I can't hold more. The plates are full, the trays are just full, and then the stress needs to go somewhere. So then whatever what used to feel okay to hold, it depends on where we are at. So either what we used to be able to hold, we are not able anymore, or it starts to express itself in other ways. So the body is holding the pressure, holding the capacity of the now, but you can expand that capacity. You can expand that so you can hold more. And you do that by learning how to hold more. And that is the body. So it's all stored in the nervous system, in the tissues, and it's like in the fascia. And it holds us for us. But when we expand that, and the belief system is holding everything in place, like locked. That's what the belief system does. There's a way of thinking, the way the world operates, and then the mind locks it into position, and then nothing can happen outside of that, inside of that, doesn't collaborate. It's stuck. So what we want to have is an openness to be able to look at things differently. So when we align all of the different levels, then we can start to increase the capacity. And we also need to make room for other things. So when we have a lot of unprocessed, that fills up the spaces inside, and also those spaces are saying like there's no more space. But that's not true, because whatever is saying that there's no more capacity, we can remove that and we have space for more capacity. Plus we remove the negative imprint that was confusing everyone else. So when we start to really look at, am I managing my stress or am I building capacity? Because if I'm managing, and the tools are the same, it's the breath work, it's the nervous system regulation, it's the somatics, it's the belief systems, it's the fascia, all of that can be used either as stress management to cope with something that is going on, or we use the same situation, but we use it to build pressure, to build capacity, the ability to hold pressure, and the ability to build the capacity to hold more, to manage more, so either we are coping with the situation, or we are building ourselves to be forever evolving, forever expanding. And that doesn't mean that you're going to, do a million things. That's not what we're saying. We're not adding more things. It's the ability to hold more, and then you can do whatever you want with that. That's more what I'm saying. So that's how we use. So the Phoenix Rising is we're building the capacity to hold more. We're not just coping. We are learning that too, because it's the same process, but it's the intention and the belief system and the communication that we are sending to our bodies about what's happening. Because if we're always in a lack, if we're always in a place where everything is overflowing and becoming overwhelming, or am I using this energy to really look at what is actually happening? And through that lens and through that type of processing, we can start to build more capacity. So it's a mindset shift and the place that where we're coming from. And that is why this way of working with it, this way of looking at it, fits with the women that I work with, because they already have a lot going on. They're not I mean, I can also dream about, all I want to do is to lay on the beach and drink pina coladas and not have a worry in the world. Of course, we can still dream of that, but that is not really going to be the reality, because even if I could lay on the beach and drink pina coladas all day, I don't think I would, because that would only be fun for, how long? Because if I have vitality, if I have creativity, if I have all this energy, and I mean, I have energy as it is of now, so I would have more energy, more creative, and then I would want to use my hands to create, and to be able to create what I want to create and move in the rooms where I want to move and be with the type of people that I want to be. I will have to expand my ability to hold pressure, build capacity to hold whatever is going on inside of myself with everyone else and the world. And this is what we as women, we are very, very good at holding all of this. That's why you're already doing really well. I was doing well on paper. I was doing well. But it didn't feel good. And I realized, like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I'm built for. This amount of stress and pressure. Where's the joy? Where's the harmony? Where's the fun? But I'm still a high capacity person. I don't want to just sit around. I mean, now I love being in the sun and I love connect with nature, and I spend so much more time in my body, and I spend a lot of time hanging out in the unknown, in the silence, in my body. But that is also because it's new. So it's like, where do I go with my energy? What do I want to create? And then there's this natural connection inside of the body that wants to contribute to the world, that wants to be of service, that wants to share. So there's a voice inside of me that wants to share, that needs to share. And that is why this whole experiment had to be about myself first, because if it's not about myself first, it will be fake. It will not be real. It will not be authentic. So the only way for this to be authentic is if I show up authentically. And that means you're going to see the highs and the lows, and me going through all my things, because that's going to show. And that's life. That's everyone's life. Nobody wakes up, in the morning and feel the exact same every day for the whole life. That's just not how it, especially, I mean, men could probably do that because they are very much the same all the time, but their construct is absolutely different from ours. So we are in motion, we are in all of these things. And for me to build my capacity, a part of that was to fully embrace that and fully allow myself to be seen, because the visibility wound is a real deal. And everyone who is entrepreneurs and solopreneurs or have your own brand or influencers, and who needs to show up, especially online. It's just there's a different thing, and there's a whole reality in and around that is real. The resistance we feel is real. So when I started to look into that, I realized I have to work through those things in able to build the capacity and hold the pressure of going online and being fully seen as who I am. And layers of this, and then moving into this long format, live, it's in the moment. And I'm really, as I've been mentioning, my body is feeling this. So I'm building my capacity, and I'm going to have pushbacks from that. I'm going to have challenges in this. I'm still, one thing that has come into my mind is that I'm actually going to forget, that I'm going to go to bed and go, I didn't do the live today. That is one thing. I mean, that could happen, because the body will, that's a way for the body, that's a way that the body can use, a tool that the body can use to protect me, protect the nervous system from this constant growth. So I'm going against my design, my energetic setup, because all of those are just information. It's not that you have to live exactly from that, but it's personality traits that affects my experience of the world. So when I realized that I have the 2 line, that is the hermit line, I realized, oh, that's why I want to, close the door behind me all the time, especially in parties and things, that I sometimes wanted to be the center of attention, because I'm a 2-4 line. So the 2 is the hermit, and the 4 is the person who can create any community. So it's like there's a contradiction there. So I can see, okay, but me showing up 108 days in a row, that's gonna really create something in me, because I have this hermit, and I've been in hermit mode for 9 years. I mean, I've been away from society. I mean, I've been living in the jungle for like 9 years. That's even me, like, what? Shit, what happened? Okay, whoops. I'm 48 now. I was 39 when I left. It's almost 10 years. That's a long time. So that's what I had to do to increase my capacity, because I want to move out of my comfort zone, because I want to do bigger things. I want to do more things. I want to expand my potential. So if that is my biggest intention in life, in my life, I mean, that's a huge intention, to build my own capacity, then whatever I create will genuinely be from that energy. So everything I do is to expand my creativity, expand my capacity, me be able to hold the pressure in all the situation. And what is that? What is the pressure? It's the truth, the knowing, the expression, the abundance, the personal power, the creativity, and our root and our sovereignty. So the capacity and the pressure is all internal work. Everything. Our ability to go inside to our bodies and know what's happening, to learn, this is how I work. Because we all have the same type of bodies. I have a feminine body, so do you. But inside of that body, there's a truth of, okay, what's our starting point? When I realized this, because I realized at 39, like, okay, this is not, it's not going in the right direction. We are absolutely are heading towards the cliff. This is not going to work. So that was my starting point, and I had a lot of stuff to deal with. But that's like, okay, I need to. The truth is the truth is the truth. What can I? There's nothing I can. I can sit and mope about it. I can complain about it. I can yell at God for it. I can do all of these things, but all that is me being, not doing anything about it. It's just digging my own hole and feeling sorry for myself. And we are allowed to do that, and I honestly believe that we have to go through that at some point, because it's like an expression. It's something. If that feeling is in the body, we can't just like, nah, that's this one's not qualified to express because it's so dumb. It's like, it's too useless. It doesn't serve any point. You could say that, but it's still an expression. It's still something that we need to alchemize and process, if that is the feeling that we have. And if it is in there, if it exists, it's also on the menu of things we can experience. So, there's nothing, it's just something we have to go through. But then we realize, okay, I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm the only one who can do this. This is where the accountability, and like, if I want to change it, I have to do that myself. And usually we want to do that. Completely lost my train of thought, if you're wondering what happened. So the capacity, everything is felt in the body. It's all like, how can I hold my emotions? How can I hold the pressure of the situation? How can I understand what's going on? How can I hold the pressure of the situation while I am alchemizing the situation and realizing what the truth of the situation is, and not running on imprints from the past, because the nervous system is going to give us an instant thing, an instant reaction, and that is not to the best of our outcome if we aren't able to hold our composure, if we're not able to have grounded and balanced and resolution oriented conversations. Because what happens when the emotion kicks in, when the nervous system kicks in, when the old imprint kicks in, we start to act like the traumas that happened to us, that something happened in the past, and I'm reacting to this situation like this, but it's not who I am anymore. And that was something that really annoyed me, because I could sit in high pressure situations, and then there was certain kind of conversations, or no, I could handle any situation or any conversation if it was in a professional setting. Then I had no problem doing that. But when people came in with certain unprocessed energies and started to transfer to me, then that, because I had unprocessed situations in myself, so my trauma was matching that person's trauma, then I couldn't, I could get so angry that I just started to cry. You can't do that in a professional setting. It's just, so that was a limitation for me. So, I mean, of course, I shouldn't be working with people who I'm not aligning with, but I mean, I was working in at an office. I had a superior that was completely run by his emotions. and he decided to take them out on the staff, on his team. So I was trapped in that, and that's life. I can't just choose, and that's not how it works. Because if we're only working with stress management, then we are deliberately controlling the world. I'm not doing that because then I get triggered. I'm not talking to that person because then I get triggered. I'm not doing that because then I get triggered. So then we are run by our triggers. And that's not how some people are completely fine with just learning the map and staying clear, staying out of sight. But I just don't. That's just not part of my. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to patch my triggers and avoid people or situations that I don't like or whatever, because I just don't resonate with that. Um, you see, that just came out. That's okay. That's my truth. I don't want to do that. So I want to learn how to hold the capacity and hold the pressure and navigate any of those situations so I can choose freely. Because I also believe that a lot of our opinions of others comes from unhealed versions of ourselves. And I don't want to live that kind of life. I want to live full of potential. I want to live full of freedom. I want to be able to work with people that I don't like initially in order for myself to change my mind. And I mean, I'm really good at that, as it is, and I've always loved. And people who know me from way back say that I always love to change my opinion about someone. So if I have a first impression of someone that I don't like, and I just love changing that, you know. And I know that there's always good in people. I know that. And that was one of my hobbies when I was younger, to have conversations with people that I didn't like in order for me to change my mind. That's just who I am. But that's how I want to live. So I believe that there's a lot of situations out there that we want to avoid that would actually be very beneficial for us to experience. And that is why the challenges that I've been through, that I can honestly say that it will be the best once everything is over, it will be the best experience of my life, because it will propel me into my direction with such precision. And that is what I've been wanting all my life. I want to be in the right place. I want to be in the right trajectory. I want to be in the right energetic current. And I want to be fully equipped to live life to the fullest. And it's like, if you go to the Tivoli, if you don't have the capacity or the ability to hold pressure in the body, you can't do all the rides. I mean, at a Tivoli, it's safe, and the route is pre-created, so you could force yourself into anything and go for it and then survive. Life doesn't work exactly the same. But you could also say that it does. Okay, we're not going to open that one. Sorry about that. Okay. I want to be able to choose which rides I can do or not in life. I don't want to be chosen, or that it's like you go to the table. Are you not tall enough? Nah, you can't hold the pressure. Then you're not allowed, and I'm noticing it even in the different containers that I'm joining for myself, that some of the high level containers that are available with certain people, you have to be able to compose yourself in a certain way. You have to be able to express yourself in a certain way. And what they are asking the most is, can you be authentic? And this is the biggest problem, that people show up in these containers and they cannot for their life be just plainly who they are. They believe that I need to come happy, I need to come in a certain way. And balancing your authentic and also being able to express yourself and hold a high level conversation without collapsing, without putting on fronts, without people pleasing, without, you know, having all kinds of reactions in the body that triggers old patterns that brings us in. So it's very, very, very interesting. And for the abundance to be able to flow, there's a balance and the capacity. How much abundance can I hold? Because why am I not holding a lot of abundance in my life? Because the abundance is there. And this might be mind-boggling to a lot of people, but most of the situations that we find ourselves in is due to us not understanding what we are experiencing and not knowing ourselves well enough to understand what's going on. Because if we don't see what's happening, and this is so interesting, I should probably do a full session on this, but there was a time, because I've been thinking about this for my whole life. And like, how is it possible that people don't understand or can't see what is actually going on? Because it's so easy to read people. And now something is happening. The times are changing. And I'm noticing that other people can read or understand what's happening in a much, much, much higher capacity. So what I've been saying for years is that it will be impossible to hide how you really feel about everything that is going on. So if someone shows up in a public space in front of other people, it will be impossible to lie, to present yourself as something you're not, to have hidden agendas, and to have opinions and thoughts about others that you're not really speaking to. So being authentic is not even going to be a thing, because everyone is authentic, because it's just going to be there, that you're trying to hide what you really feel. So what you're trying to say is going to be fully obvious, and what you're not trying to say is going to be fully obvious, and what you really feel is going to be obvious, because the body gives those expressions all the time. So the only people who will be able to manipulate that will be the ones who are truly mastering everything inside, if you wanted to manipulate it. But the the obvious choice is to just show up as you are and be truthful and to be authentic. What I'm saying is that everyone's going to be authentic because it's who you are. It just shows that you're not so nice and you're not really working on yourself and you don't really care about doing that. You just want something for yourself. Or if you are, the intention of who you are and what you're trying to create and who you're trying to become is going to shine through every single aspect of your body, the physical, the emotional, the energetical, the mental, all of this. So our abilities to truly navigate the world is going to be directly connected to your level of body connection, to understand what is actually happening in here. Because the people have been unaware that they can say nice things, but the whole being is expressing spite, resentment, control, anger, jealousy. So people have been able to maneuver the world with masks and no one could look behind them, but for multiple reasons that's just not possible anymore. Some people could see through this, but now the it's like a lot of people have been talking about that the consciousness level of humanity is raising. So this is one aspect that I see, that yes, this is true. Something is shifting and there's much more people who are becoming aware of this, and also becoming more in tune with your intention and the intuition. So all of this is directly correlated. So your ability to hold pressure and build and increase your capacity is directly connected to your ability to know yourself, know what you've been through. Not that it means, oh, this is also a topic of a discussion, but we're also fixated in our understanding that we have to understand how everything's connected. However, having a healthy relationship to what's happened and not allowing it to be sticky, will also allow you to create your own roadmap inside and understand, okay, that was why that was, okay. Because when you kind of fill your own space, it's like you have a house, you have a storage in the size of a house. You have to clean out every storage. It's not that you have to look at every single thing, but you have to have enough understanding and knowing, and to know that, okay, there's something still here that is unresolved, that is still, in my subconscious. Because if you look at all the people who are, or, everyone who has done scientific studies on these ones since, the beginning of humanity, now I lost my thought. Okay. No. Typical. And so here's my stress. Okay, I completely lost it now because I'm getting stressed. So this is supposed to happen for some reason. Okay, coming back to my body. No, it's not coming back. Okay. Oh, I'm getting annoyed and frustrated. Very good. So here I am live and losing my train of thought and not being able to get it back because the stress is building up in the body. So it's about learning, okay, how do I continue to navigate this without completely, because otherwise I could press stop and not continue, but I have to continue. So this is about building my own capacity to be able to hold these situations. So now I'm getting there's a stress working itself up the body. I'm getting the stress, I'm sensing the stress, how it's affecting my vision. There come a pressure release. Okay, so I'm fixated on finding that particular train of thought. So that's my first blockage that I need to release. And just allow this to have a natural course. So I can feel where the stress is like blocking my ability to connect with the memory, like this. And then I'm sensing fragments of the memory coming back. And then when I observe it, it goes away. So I try to catch it. That's like the connected, that principle is connected to manifestation, that you let go of the outcome of what you try to, you set your intention, then you let go of the how and the outcome. Because if you observe something, it stops, it goes away. So that's the same. When I start to observe the memory of the thread that I lost, it started to come back. It disappeared. And now I'm having feelings of failure. And yeah, this is the most interesting situation, because I'm not able to change it. So the body really wants to go into this right now. So I see my mouth is getting tighter. And this is what I mean. Like, it's just going to be impossible for people to hide who they really are. And that's why everyone's going to be authentic 24/7, because you're just hiding in plain sight. There's just no mask anymore. It's all going to fall off. Okay, so I noticed that I'm looking for my ability to tie things together again, which is unavailable for me in this moment. So this is how I know that I'm expanding my capacity, because I've noticed the last couple of days that I am unable to access abilities that I usually have very easy to access. And that's contradictory, because something needs to shift. So there's a stress level to the capacity, and it's about choosing new ways of expanding if the old ones aren't available. So I'm being forced. So this is the unknown. This is the threshold that I have been looking for. So I deliberately put myself in this situation, and I've been feeling it the last 3 days, that I don't have, there's something that is shifting, because I'm not able to access some of my natural gifts in this setting. So I've been noticing that what if that happens when we go live? And then I have felt that I trusted it's not, no, because the pressure of the situation will force me to activate that. But now it didn't. So then it forces me to go into the body and to choose the next, what is the next thing that I talk about, what is coming out. So I'm trusting my body. And then this scenario that I was talking about just now came up. And now it's like the whole, the stress is creating like a vibration inside of the energy bubble. It's very interesting. So I'm noticing it in real time and putting words on it. So I guess that this was supposed to happen so that I could do that. So this is me expanding my capacity, because I'm telling my body, so I'm aware of all the things at the same time. So this forces me to have multiple attention points in my body. So I'm honoring the body. I'm not rushing to get into the next thing and start to talk fast and then, oh my God, I have to, and then end. That would be a scenario that I could have done years ago. Yeah, that's what I did years ago. Like previously to this, if I couldn't catch myself and come back and do it the way that I usually do it, then I would start talking faster, just find a thread that would fit, get that done, and then hang up, and then, oh my God, what did I just do? And then that was a failure. And instead, I'm keeping my attention on my body. I'm really listening to what is it that it wants to express, and it wants to put words on what's happening, because that's beneficial for me, that's beneficial for you. It's a growth and expansion process, and that creates safety on a new level in my body. So the pressure of the internet, when everyone is watching, and that's the first belief system, because no one's really watching, it's just a handful of, but that's not because it's there forever, and someone can watch me in 2 years, so, but the pressure that creates a pressure. So I'm normalizing making mistakes. I'm normalizing being stressed. I'm normalizing losing my train of thought in a new, more high level environment. So the fact that I'm showing up here 108 days a row, stretching my system, I'm stretching the capacity in myself because I'm consciously moving into areas where my body wants to contract. So so we grow from stress, period. That's the contradiction of this planet. So I put myself deliberately into a state of stress to see what happens. That's the 108 days. And then within that container, this episode, things will happen. So I'm telling my system that it's safe to do this, because it's about how I respond in the new way in a high capacity situation, or a higher capacity, or higher pressure. And when I don't have the unprocessed attachments, I'm able to rewire my system with the awareness and my ability. And that's the difference between growing capacity and just managing stress. Because manage stress, I just do what I need to do to get out of the situation. When I grow my capacity, I bring my awareness, and I do it with more finesse, one could say. Because it also feels fun to do something with more finesse, and that's true. So let's use that. I would rather be with the one who does things with more finesse. So if it's true, then go for it. Interesting conversations. Okay, 49 minutes, time to go. Okay, so this didn't wrap up in this nice little way that I usually am able to do it, because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and allowing whatever to happen. And it's like growing your ability to hold pressure and build your capacity is your ability to roll with whatever happens when you're standing in the front of evolution, when you're standing on the edge of creation, to really like, okay, it doesn't matter what life throws at me, I'm going to be able to stay at the front and just deal with things. Otherwise, we get thrown off and we have to process, and we get into this and we go into that and we go into that tangent or tantrum or sidetrack, or I have to deal with this. And that is one of the things that me and Simba have been so frustrated of, that we've been constantly thrown off from, because we know that we are supposed to be here. And then all the things that moves us away from what we really want to do. And what we really want to do is to co-create with the universe and just make amazing things for other people. And we do that by showcasing that it can be done through ourselves. That's it for today. Let me know what you think, and I'm looking forward to your insights, comments, questions, all of it. Sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.